Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are going to start talking about exponent laws. So if I can get everybody to open up their foldable to the third section called exponent laws. And at the very top, let's begin by writing the following. The purpose of using exponent laws and I'm underlining exponent laws is to help simplify expressions. Okay. So, getting right into it, for the first exponent law that we're going to look at today, this law can be applied when you encounter expressions where you're being asked to multiply powers with the same base. So, let's take a look here. So, you can write down right underneath that, example 1, multiply powers with the same base. So in this example, it asks us to write the following as a single power then evaluate. And here's how it looks. We've got 2 cubed times 2 squared. Okay, so let's answer this now. So it wants us to write it as a single power and then evaluate. So in other words, then find the value of it, solve it out. So first thing let's do, let's take a closer look at what we actually have here. So remember, the base is the number that gets repeated. The exponent is the number of times we multiply it by itself. So the first one here, 2 exponent 3. So base is what's going to get repeated. And then exponent, how many times? So 2 times 2 times 2. So there is the repeated multiplication for the first one. And then I'm multiplying that by 2 squared. So again, base gets repeated by itself twice. 2 times 2 is how it looks. So if I'm going to write this as a single power, well, I've got the same number repeated all the way through. So that means that my base is still 2. And then remember, exponent is how many times it's repeated. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So as a single power, it looks like this. 2 exponent 5. So now, to evaluate, I can just enter this into my calculator. 2 exponent key 5 equals, and there it is, 32. So there's my single power, and I've evaluated it. So the shortcut, okay, my exponent law. How did I get this to a single power? Well, if you look closely here, all I've actually done is I've added my exponents, because this 3 showed me to repeat the 2 3 times. This 2 showed me to repeat it twice, and then I just totaled it up. I counted all of these 2's. So all I did was 3 plus 2 gives me 5. So that is my first exponent law. So let's write it down. And I'll get you to switch to another color. You want your exponent laws to be nice and bold and bright, stand out on your page. So choose a separate color from what you've used for everything else. What do I want to use? Let's see here. And let's write this down. So when, oh, is that going to show up? That's okay. When multiplying powers with the same base, simplify first by adding the exponents. So that is our first exponent law. So instead of doing everything that we did up here, what we could have done instead, had we known the exponent law already, is we could have looked at this. 2 exponent 3 times 2 exponent 2. We could have seen, oh, same base being multiplied. So that means that I can simply add my exponents. 3 plus 2, simplifying it down to 2 exponent 5, then pull out my calculator to get 32. So when you know your exponent laws, it just makes this a little bit quicker. Okay. So before I end the video, we're just going to add a single show you know question. So I'm going to write this down. I'll get you to write it down too. And then I'll tell you to pause the video. And then I want you to try answering it on your own. And then you can play the video again and see if you got it. Okay? So here's the question. We've got -3 squared times -3 exponent 5. And please notice, and make sure you copy it down this way, that both of these -3's are in brackets. Okay? So please go ahead and pause the video now. Okay, so now that you've had a chance to give this a try on your own, let's take a look at it together. So, like I said, both of these -3's are in brackets, so that means in both of these cases, the -3 is the entire base. That is the entire base. So we do have the same base here, which means we can apply this exponent law. So, -3 will still be our base, and we can just simply add the exponents. So 2 plus 5. So this turns into negative 3. 5 plus 2, exponent 7. And then we can pull out our calculator. So right away, I know both the negative and the 3 are going to get repeated here because that's my entire base. And my exponent is odd. So I know my answer should come out negative. But just remember, if you are using your calculator for this, you need to make sure you input it exactly as it's written here. So we have to do bracket, negative 3, end bracket, all raised up to the exponent 7 equals, and there it is. Like I said, I should be having a negative answer, and I do. So that all makes sense. Negative 2,187 would be my answer. So there's my single power, and there is the value of it. I've evaluated it there. Okay, so that's the first exponent law, and that is everything for this first video. Bye, everybody.